my lovelies, and welcome to the Prosperous Yogini Podcast, episode 13. Today I'm going to be talking about the salaries of yoga teachers. Actually, I'm going to be talking about the mindset of money when it comes to being a woman, a solo service entrepreneur running your own business, which if you are a yoga teacher, that is exactly what you're doing. You are putting your services, your gifts out into the world, and in exchange, asking for money. That means you're running your own business. That means you're an entrepreneur. And you are also more than likely going to be female. 75% of all yoga teachers in the world are women. So I've picked on UK-based yoga teacher salaries. One, because I'm a UK-based yoga teacher, and two, it just helps me to give you some data, some facts from which we can begin to question whether what's going on in here in our minds is accurate, and whether we really could and should be earning more from our gifts as a yoga teacher. If you're not a yoga teacher, this is going to apply to you if you are a service-based female solo entrepreneur, Pilates teacher, wellness entrepreneur, fitness teacher. I really hope you're listening to this. Okay, so Google says, you Google these things, the average salary of a UK-based yoga teacher ranges from 25,000 to 32,000. This is data, facts and figures from 2022. Then the UK-based yoga industry is worth average £926 million. Let's have another think about those facts and figures. UK-based yoga teachers earn £25,000 to £32,000. From my experience of mentoring and working with yoga teachers, that might seem a lot for some of you listening today, but that's what Google says. And then the yoga industry in the UK is worth £926 million. The yoga industry in the UK is worth a hell of a lot, and yoga teachers should be earning good money for their gifts, good money for their services. I'm going to throw into the mix some of the global figures according to Google, and again there's conflicting data on this, but the global yoga industry is worth 37 to 66 billion pounds. If you have an online business, you have access to that global market. Not to mention globally, the wellness industry is into the trillions. So there is a lot of money floating around our industry. Yet there is a belief out there with many teachers, and it's one we feel, I know, that it's hard to make money as a yoga teacher, perhaps that you shouldn't make money as a yoga teacher. I want to go back to another one of the important figures within this mix. 75% of yoga teachers are female. So the yoga industry, rightly or wrongly, is predominantly female yoga teachers, women going out, sharing the light, sharing the gift that is yoga, women going out as solo entrepreneurs, setting up their own businesses and having a go at being a self-employed yoga teacher. And we find ourselves in this situation where yoga teachers are struggling to make money, yet the yoga industry is worth a lot. And this is one of the reasons why I set up this podcast, and one of the reasons why I set up my mentoring program, because I'm like, this isn't right. The yoga industry is predominantly women, and we are struggling to make money from our gifts with the world. Yet this is an affluent, wealthy industry. Where is the money going? Who is getting the money? And why can't it go into the hands of female yoga teachers? And it is one of my missions, one of my goals, to empower you to take your amazing gifts that help people, that change people's lives, to take your amazing gifts as a yoga teacher and make sure that you create a profitable, sustainable yoga business. One where you're not worrying about money, one where you've got time to recharge and look after yourself and be with your family and do the things that you love, and also share the gift with yoga with the world. Now, it is just a fact, us wonderful women are hardwired to over deliver and undercharge. There are many reasons for this. I could probably talk for hours on those reasons, but one of them is Dear Mrs. Imposter Syndrome, and this is one of our self-limiting beliefs. Episode 11. If you go back to episode 11, where I talk about these self-limiting beliefs, one of the key players, the main one, is Dear Mrs. Imposter Syndrome, where she tells you, your beautiful brain that is trying to keep you safe tells you basically you're not good enough. And any minute now, someone is going to find out. Someone's going to rock up to your class, rock up to your retreat, rock up to your training and go, this person does not know what they're doing, and they're making it up as they go along. So how do we pacify Dear Mrs. Imposter Syndrome? There are lots of ways we do it, and one of them is we don't charge enough. We think, well, if I don't charge what I should charge, if I charge a little bit less, then people won't mind if I'm not very good. How do I know this? Because I have been there, my darling. Like, also along with charging, the over delivering, I remember when I first started teaching, my classes were like an hour and 15 minutes. I would always go over, because one of the reasons was, well, one, I'm not great with time, but two, I was like, I'm going to give more. I'm going to give a longer class, because then I'm not feeling like I'm good enough. But if I give a bit more time to my students, then that pacifies Dear Mrs. Imposter Syndrome and makes my students feel all right that I'm not good enough because they're getting more time on their yoga mat. I mean, it's all a load of mind trash rubbish that keeps us trapped, keeps us women trapped in not earning enough and burning out. Now, there are some other statistics I can throw into the mix. Did you know? Did you know? I say this a lot. In every country in the world, statistically, men earn more than women. Again, there is a multitude of reasons for that, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can believe it can be different, and in that belief, remember, our belief informs our actions inform our results. If we just stand up and say, hang on a minute, I have as much right, as much gifts, as much skills, as much capability to earn the same as men. It's not about earning more than men. It's just about being on a level playing field. I have as much right to be on a level playing field as all the men in the world. I don't accept that statistic that men in every country earn more than women. I'm going to take action to do something about it. And this is why you've got me here today talking to you. Another book, there are so many books I could recommend you read. One of them are particularly good if you are a Black American woman trying to teach yoga is Rachel Rodgers' We All Should Be Millionaires. This book was bought for me by my coach Ruth Gilby, and I absolutely love it. And it's opened my eyes, actually, not just to the injustices around what men earn versus women, the opportunities that men have in business versus women, but there are other disadvantages that get thrown into the mix of this, and one of them is culture and race. So Black American women find it harder to earn money, to be successful in business than white American women. So there might be other aces in your card that are making it hard for you to earn money. And when I'm saying making it hard, there'll be a combination of barriers that are there, barriers that are physically there, and then also these cultural barriers that we have ingrained into us without realizing that I'm forming our belief systems inform our action reforms results. 75%, I'm just going to keep repeating this, 75% of all yoga teachers in the world are women. In every country, men are earning more than women. Okay, do we need to do something about this? Full stop, women? Yes, we need to wake up to the belief that we can earn the same as men, that our gifts, our skills are worthy of the same energy exchange as men's. And this is what I'm talking about, money. All money is a vibrational energy exchange. You go out and share your gift with yoga with the world. This is an energy. This is a vibration. In exchange, you get money to pay your bills and to live your life, okay? And you have exactly as much right as a man to earn the same gifts. We just need to wake up to what might be limiting us in our reaching our full earning income potential, which what might be causing the data where men are more successful in business than women, where men are out earning women in every country in the world. And we just need to wake up to what are the beliefs that are causing this, okay? So I'm actually going to read a quote from Rachel Rogers' book. It's a really interesting one. There's lots of facts and figures in this book. I really recommend, if you're a woman, particularly if you're a Black woman, read this book. So, for my sisters on the other side of the pond, this is one for you. A United Kingdom survey reports that 60% of all women who've considered starting a business ultimately decide not to because they lacked confidence in their abilities and did not feel like the type of person who could start a business. And that is why even today only 1/5 of UK businesses are owned and run by women. The Telegraph calls imposter syndrome women's silent career killer, and I would add to this women's silent money killer. So, imposter syndrome, that belief that you are just not good enough, and any minute now, someone's going to come and find you out, will be one reason you are not earning enough for your gifts as a yoga teacher, okay? So, we need to do something about this, because I'm really hoping now you've got the facts and figures in front of you, you can be a little bit like, actually, the yoga industry is an affluent, profitable industry. I am a trained yoga teacher. Therefore, I have as much right and as much chance as everyone else who's a yoga teacher to earn a good living, have a sustainable, profitable career as a yoga teacher, okay? Not just that, not fall into the mindset of fear and scarcity, i.e. there's too many yoga teachers in the world and there's not enough money. There is more than enough money for everyone in the world, and there certainly is more than enough people in the world who will benefit from doing yoga with you. This is the scarcity mindset versus not necessarily the abundance mindset, but I like to call it sufficiency, that there is just enough for all of us. There is room for us all. If we can all move to this place in all aspects of our lives, I have hope for a much brighter future. I am staying focused right now on yoga teaching. So I want to give you in today's podcast 3 quick fixes, 3 quick steps that you can implement today that can begin to shift this data on what the earning potential of a yoga teacher is, and also begin to shift the data in terms of how many women are successful in business, how many women are successful solo entrepreneurs earning money out of their yoga business, their wellness business, their Pilates business, whatever it is. And if you've got to think of yourself, if you are a yoga teacher, that is the service that you are going out into the world and providing, okay? You have to think of it as a business, okay? Because this is the first, this isn't even on my list. This is the first thing that's going to turn the mindset around. Because for a business to be successful, it has to be profitable in the end. Like maybe when you start out, you're going to be growing, you're not going to be earning £32,000 day one, but you are heading to a place for your yoga business to be sustainable. It has to be profitable. So the first thing I want you to do, get pens to the ready, phone, calculator to the ready. You need to do the maths, because I know for many years, and if this isn't you, I'm sorry, but I know for many years I bumbled along. That's a good word, bumbled along. I went out, I taught my classes and hoped for the best on many levels, and one of them was that I would have enough money in my bank account each month. Do you know what? Sometimes it worked out and sometimes it didn't. And that gets us into this feast and famine cycle where we're not tracking the money. We don't know what's making us money in our business. We've not made profit a habit. Some months we're lucky and we get loads of people in our classes and we've got money in the bank. Other mums, it's Christmas and we haven't budgeted for it and I haven't got enough money in the bank. This is a cycle of feast and famine, which is one thing that can lead to burnout, because if we're stressed about money, and a stress yoga teacher isn't going to look, if we're stressed about money and we're not sure where the next money is coming from, that is nervous energy that can contribute to burnout. Burnout is a known problem for women. Full stop. Burnout is a known problem for female yoga teachers. Again, ask yourself why. What is happening up here in terms of our beliefs that is leading to your burnout, that is leading for you feeling that you can't make money as a yoga teacher, that you can't be a profitable full-time yoga teacher, that you can't have a 6-figure, 7-figure business from your gifts as a yoga teacher. This isn't about earning 60 grand as a yoga teacher, 100 grand as a yoga teacher. I'm not putting a price on it. Prosperity is a feeling, okay? Your energetic money set point, well, it will shift hopefully after listening to me, but also will be unique to you. So it's not about earning X amount of money as a yoga teacher, but it is about having a business, a yoga business that is profitable and sustainable, that economically and energetically serves you and you love and your students love. That is what I mean by your earning potential as a yoga teacher. That's your goal. Okay, you set your own personal figure to that goal, but your goal is that your yoga business is profitable, sustainable, economically and energetically serves you, you love it, and your student loves it. Because in this place, everyone wins. Everyone wins. So here are these 3, let's stay focused, Amy. Here are these 3 things that I want you to do after listening to today's podcast. Number 1, do the maths. Get your calculator out, get your pen out. Okay, do the maths on your current offers. I'm going to use the example of classes, okay, but it doesn't have to be classes. But what are you charging? How much on average do you earn from your classes? Are you covering your costs? After you've covered your costs, and your costs aren't just room rental, your costs are travel to your destination, your costs are equipment, your costs are your time in admin and marketing, your costs might also be taxes if you're earning enough to pay taxes. There are a lot of costs to consider. After you have accounted for all your costs, are you making a profit? Okay, do the maths on that. And then likelihood is you'll come to the conclusion you probably need to put your prices up a little bit. When was the last time you put your prices up? Now, I know costs are going up everywhere, but it is immensely common for us solo entrepreneurs, our solo yoga teachers, service providers, to not put our costs up for many years. I've known teachers that are charging what they were charging 10 plus years ago, which is fine. If that is leading you to a place that is economically and energetically sustainable. But in most cases, the cost of living's gone up. Your prices need to reflect that. It's not like you can go on strike as a yoga teacher. You are the only person making these decisions in your business. So step number 1, do the maths on whatever your current offer is. What are your costs? And consider all your costs. And then ask yourself the question, is this offer profitable? Then, if necessary, put your prices up so it becomes profitable. This leads me into step number 2. Do the maths, listen to this one, and make profit a habit. Make knowing your financial situation, the money that comes into your business, what makes you money, what hasn't made you money, what mums are good mums for you, what mums are low turnover mums for you, so you can budget accordingly. Make profit a habit. Okay, be on top of your numbers. And this was massive for me. The minute I started to pay attention to the data, first of all, data will shut down noise in mind stuff. You know, I had a month once where I was like, oh God, like people aren't buying my courses anymore. This is a bad month, la la la. I don't even know where this came from. And then I use QuickBook apps. There are other apps out there, but I you know, it tracks the money coming in, the money coming out, what I'm spending my money on. And actually I'd had a really profitable month. I just hadn't noticed, and I was having one of those low moments. I think I'd sold lots of courses at the start of the month, but not towards the end of the month. And Mrs. Imposter syndrome had kicked in, saying you're not really good at this, your courses aren't good enough, you're not selling them anymore, see, no one's bought them recently, you should just stop it. And then I went and looked at the data and I was like, no, I've had a really good month. This is what the data tells you. Or if you have a quiet month, you know, the data will tell you reasons why. Perhaps it's Christmas, perhaps it's August, perhaps you were on holiday, perhaps it's a random month, because this can happen when we're self-employed. Do the maths. Know the facts and figures in your business, because this gives you power, knowledge, accurate data to make informed decisions. Step 3, make informed decisions based on the data, based on your commitment to make profit a habit. And what I mean by that is, if you are just basing your business on going out and teaching weekly classes, and if you have a studio, then obviously the model of a yoga studio is predominantly classes. That said, I think yoga studios survive in the post-pandemic era need to branch out into other offers like training, have a shop, be doing workshops. Maybe as part of the space of the studio, there's a treatment room that you can rent out. Maybe there's a cafe that also is a stream of income. Okay, so even studio owners, I would be careful not to think I just have to run classes. And the reason why I say don't limit yourself by just running weekly classes is this is a ceiling. There is only, and I will talk about this in future podcasts, leveraging your time for money. There is only one of you in your business. That means there's only so many times in a week you can go out and teach. There's only so many people, if you're teaching in person, that you can fit in a room. All of this puts a limit, a ceiling on your income. And this is when we lead to burnout, because if you're just pursuing the model of teaching classes, weekly classes, and you're like, oh, I need to earn more, then you go, right, I need to teach more. And before you know it, you're teaching 12, 15, 20 classes a week. That will lead to burnout. And if you're like me, like I am going to be 44 soon, I have aged. We're all aging. Like when I first started teaching yoga, how old was I? I was in my early 30s. Yeah, and in my early 30s, pre-kids, I could easily go out, teach 8 classes plus a week, and I didn't think anything of it. Nowadays, with children, and I'm a little bit older, I've noticed that I can't go out and teach loads of classes. I am not great teaching in the weekends anymore or in the evenings, and I've had to adjust and change my weekly teaching schedule, which has been made possible because I've expanded my offers out into other streams of income. Okay, I've leveraged my time. I've created online courses. I've created an online membership. I've created online training programs, which allows me to share the light that is yoga, help people create their own yoga business, and make money and energetically enjoy my life. Okay, my darlings. So I just want to conclude by reviewing the facts and the figures and those 3 suggestions I want you to take. The yoga industry globally is worth 37 to 66 billion pounds, according to Google. Okay. The UK yoga industry is worth 926 million pounds, according to Google. The average wage of a yoga teacher, I'm under attack. The average wage of a yoga teacher in the UK is 25 to 32,000 pounds. Overall, I know this is out there. There is a feeling among yoga teachers that it's hard to make money as a yoga teacher, that you shouldn't make money as a yoga teacher. Not to mention 75% of all yoga teachers in the world globally are women, and women are hardwired to overcharge and over-deliver, driven by imposter syndrome, driven by our beliefs that we're not good enough, maybe driven by a belief that men just earn more than women. That is not right to earn money as a woman. There are so many cultural reasons why we are being limited in our income potential. And I want you to wake up to the possibility that you can bring as much money as you want into your business as you like. You can bring as much money into your world as you believe is possible. That comes from action and changing our beliefs by questioning the data. These are these 3 actions that I want you to take away from today. 1, do the maths. Know what your offers cost you. What does it cost to run this offer? How much profit am I making after I've met my costs? Do I need to put my prices up? Is my offer profitable? Number 2, do the maths. Make profit a habit. Know what is financially coming in and out of your business. Know the months that you can earn more money. Know the months that are quiet time, and budget and plan accordingly. Do the maths. Make profit a habit. Step number 2. Step number 3. Begin to expand your horizons beyond weekly classes. These have a ceiling. Now, I'm not saying stop teaching in-person weekly classes. I'm not. I love it. I love my weekly connection with my pre and postnatal women and my little yogis, my toddler yoga. There is nothing in me that's going to stop that. But I haven't scaled my business by doing more of that. I've scaled my business by leveraging my time, by creating online courses, online training programs, online membership. That means I can serve more people in one go. I can share my gifts with the world, with my tribe that are benefiting from working with me. They're out there. The world's a big place, okay? And making more income, making more money. So we can begin to challenge that statistic that in every country, men earn more than women. Or that statistic that Rachel Rogers shared that only 1 in 5 UK businesses are run by women. It's not about women earning more than men. It's not about women having more businesses than men. It's about an even playing field. And this comes from us, ladies. We have to wake up and believe it's possible. We have to wake up and pay attention to these beliefs that will be really ingrained in us as to why we are not earning a fair slice of the pie when it comes to what the yoga industry is worth. Okay, my lovelies, there's today's podcast. If you are listening to this in real time when it's released on Monday, the 12th of September, I actually have a free training, how to set aligned prices. Go over to amyyoga.com. I'll also put the link in the show notes, and you can book yourself onto that free live training call Monday, the 12th of September, 7 p.m. UK time. If you are like so empowered after listening to today's podcast and like, I am going to do this, I am going to create a profitable, sustainable business from my gifts, share the gifts that are yoga with the world and make money. Amy, I'm joining your Prosperous Yogini mentorship program. I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Let's work together. Hire me on your team for 6 months and I will help you get to that goal. Go again to amyyoga.com, click on Prosperous Yogini. The doors are opening and closing. So they are closing for current cohort on the 14th of September, but they will be reopening again. So if you go along and it says doors are closed, add your name to the waiting list. Also, keep your eyes peeled. I have a training coming up, a short 5-day training coming up called Leverage, which is how to create, sell and scale your online course or membership. So there is lots coming your way, all geared at helping you as a female solo entrepreneur, a female yoga teacher, share your gifts with the world and make money, because in that place, we all win. All right, my lovelies, see you next week.